All right, head coach Rob Talley heading into week 4 at LIU Post. Coach, obviously, we kind of touch on it a little bit on Saturday night, but yet the last 2 remaining unbeaten teams in the conference here in week 4 playing one each other. I know it's just September, but certainly a lot of excitement built around this game Saturday.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I think anytime you're able to win, it puts a little more of a spotlight on your next game, and the fact that they're winning too, makes this a significant game from that standpoint. Our approach is basically approaching just like any other game, though, and it's next game on our schedule, and our schedule will continue to get harder as we go. So we had a good week of practice, and we'll need to do a really good job to compete with them.
Touch back a little bit on pace last weekend. They came in with the top rushing offense in the league at the time, and certainly you guys are the top now statistically across the board, the top defense in the conference. What were you guys able to do to kind of control them? And I think I might even start on the offensive side with time of possession being almost 41 minutes.
Well, I think possibly that's the biggest thing is it's hard for an offense to get going if they're sitting on the sidelines, and we're able to pick up first downs, be able to run the ball, be able to control the clock offensively. So that plays a big role. But our defense, we're kind of set up to try to stop the run, and so it was a good matchup for us. And then to me, they're a little limited at the quarterback and receiver position as far as being able to throw it down the field. So we felt it was a good matchup for us. With them having so much success early, you never know what's going to happen once they get here. But it gave our defense something to really to strive for and really try to limit them on every carry.
Offensively, you guys had the good mix of run and pass with Colin Marcus, obviously with 166 yards, and your quarterback continuing to improve game after game. Really kind of running the show. Just tell what you were able to do offensively on Saturday.
Well, I think when you're able to run the football and really force pace into a situation where now they were started to load up versus the run. And then because of that, it opened up some stuff in the pass game. So we have to keep on trying to get that mix and try to attack people where where they're not loaded up on, and if people load up on a run, then we're going to have to be able to pass the ball, and vice versa. If they give us opportunities to run the football, we need to make sure we do that. So I think our offensive line played well. I think it starts there, being able to stay on blocks, and then Colin's such a good player that you don't have to give him much of a crease for him to find some daylight.
What is it about Colin that makes him such a great running back for you guys? And he's really been steadily improving through his 4 years, and really, he's, like as you say, one of the top running backs around right now.
I think the biggest thing with him is he's a really good football player. So he understands the game. He understands the whole scheme, not just necessarily what his job is, how it fits into the rest of the offense and what we're doing. And then he has great vision. He can see things and make cuts, before it even happens. So I think that combination truly makes him into the player he is.
You talk about your offensive line. Just talk about them as a unit. I know you've kind of been shuffling, so I don't think you've had your set unit yet once in the first 3 games. Talk about how you've been able to shuffle guys in and really kind of keep the production going.
Well, I think a little bit starts with our line coach, Tyler Moody. He's done a great job of really playing with who we had, and we've had a bunch of guys that have stepped up, and guys we didn't project as necessarily starters coming to the season, but because of injuries that they've had to step in. So we're still not where we need to be as far as having that first string line, but guys keep on filling in there. Schematically, we're doing a lot of stuff we did in preseason, so we're not changing a bunch of things. So mentally, if our guys can grasp what we're doing, and they should have a good foundation coming from the preseason, then that helps them to be able to perform their jobs at a higher level.
The National Football Foundation announced its Scholar Athlete semifinalists. Your senior captain, Anthony Masucci, is one of those. Talk about him and how he performs in the classroom, but is also one of your leaders on the field.
Well, I think it's great, and to me, he's exactly the type of person we want to look at when we're talking about a student athlete here at Stonehill. that he wants to be successful in everything he does, whether it's off the field, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's on the field. He strives to be successful, and it's important to him to be successful. To me, there's not a better kid that could be nominated on our team for it. But to me, he's just a great example of the type of student athletes we have on this team.
All right, turn the page this Saturday Post. We kind of talked about it at the beginning, but talk about having your program now in a position where these big games really matter. And I think it's kind of been a process for you. We've over the years kind of talked about you want these games to matter, and here like I said, you kind of touched about it, but here's a game that matters.
Yeah, well, I think once again, as I said earlier, anytime you win, the next game becomes that more important, and so we're happy we put ourselves in this position. Post is a great team. Post, just from a talent standpoint, the talented, as talented a team at every position as we have in the league. So. It's one of those games that we're really excited about it. We know we're going to have to play extremely well to give ourselves a chance in the fourth quarter, and but that's what we're pushing for.
What's it been like for this team? This is your third road game out of the first 4 here in September as you wrap up the month. What's the challenge in going on the road here, or has it really kind of helped bring the team together a little bit?
Well, this team, it's little stuff like this doesn't faze them. They don't complain about the type of sandwiches we have, the bus we have. They just go with the flow, and whatever's in front of them, they just deal with it. So I just think from a maturity standpoint, and we have so many guys that have played over the time, and we're still a relatively young team. That maturity really comes out when you have 3 out of your first 4 games on the road, and we've got a point. We've had some success on the road as well too. So you come to the point you like it. Our parents group is outstanding, and they follow us wherever we go. So we know we're going to have a good fan following at the game. So that makes a big difference as well.
What is it about Post that you see on film and you guys have to be prepared for Saturday?
Well, I think when you look at the defense, the defensive line, they do a great job. Some great athletes with some great length to them. The defensive ends are going to close the pocket. Linebackers can run. They're athletic individuals, and in the secondary, they're not afraid to get up and play press and play man coverage. So athletically, they pose some major problems on that side of the ball. Offensively, it starts a little bit with that quarterback. I was happy when the quarterback graduated last year and thought. But this kid comes in and just kind of keeps it going. Where he's a kid that can run the ball, can pass the ball, has some great weapons at the receiver position. They have an outstanding tailback, and their offensive line is as big as you'll find in this league. So they pose problems because they're big, athletic, and they can run. So that's the biggest challenge. We're going to have to be incredibly disciplined, play to our strengths, and hoping in the end that plays a big role in it.
What are your keys to a win on Saturday?
Just like last game we played them as turnovers. It's a big thing. We have to limit our turnovers outside. We need to get turnovers for them. We have to get the ball away from that offense. Rushing offense and defense. We have to be able to run the football to be successful. We don't want it to turn into just see how many times we can throw the football. So we have to be able to run the ball, and we have to stop them and make them one-dimensional. And then I think special teams. Last 2 weeks we haven't played very well on special teams, and they've scored some touchdowns on special teams. So we'll have to do a great job of preparing in that phase of the game.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations on the first 3 weeks, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Good.
Beautiful.